What's up, guys? So today I'm just going to be kind of doing an overview on all of the mods I've done to my Jeep Wrangler TJ. Now, it started out as just a 2001 TJ with 9,000 miles, bone stock, and I'll show some pictures of what it used to look like. So yeah, so it was bone stock, had a hard top and the soft top together, and I went and added a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to go over all of the bits and pieces that I did to the Jeep, and then I'm going to talk about some future things that I'd like to do to the Jeep as well. So we're going to start up front here. So up front we have the Rugged Ridge XHD front bumper, and this is kind of like a modular one, so you can add different pieces onto here. But I went with the stubby look, and then I added the bull bar type thing there. So that was an add-on. So the Rugged Ridge XHD with that bolted up to it. So that's for the front bumper. For the lights, I went with the SunPie LED headlights. They're very nice headlights, relatively inexpensive on Amazon. And then I also bedlined the chrome headlight surround piece here. So they're nice and bright. Nice bright LEDs, so you can see a lot better now. So yeah, I am on running 35-inch tires without a suspension lift, and how I achieved that was with the Metal Cloak overline tube fenders, front and rear. So these are the normal ones. These aren't the arched ones. These are just the normal fenders. Then I also added their rub rail. So you can get different size flares depending on how much tire coverage you want. I like the look of the rub rail. So it's just this rail that bolts up to it right here and then down there. Then I also added, because your stock turn signal is integrated into your factory fender, I went and did an LED turn signal for Metal Cloak as well. And then I also changed out the flasher to eliminate any chance of hyper flashing. There's the turn signal now, so now I got working turn signals, which is really nice. It's really nice integrated. They're very bright, so you can see really well. So I'm going to show you guys under the hood here, and I can show you the inside of these Metal Cloaks real quick. So these Metal Cloaks come with the inner fenders, so you replace your entire fender system, and then everything bolts right back up to relatively factory location, which is really nice. So really nice quality fenders, and it allows you to fit 35-inch tires without doing a suspension lift. So alright, so down below here I did upgrade my steering stabilizer to an Old Man Emu steering stabilizer. They kind of looked nice, and I'm kind of in the process of beefing up the front end here. So eventually I will be getting a new tie rod and probably drag link to kind of beef up the front suspension to kind of handle these 35s, especially if I want to do some off-roading. I definitely don't want to be bending stock components and having such weak components. So alright, so that's pretty much on the front here. As far as wheels and tires, these are the BlackRock Defender 905 series wheels. They did discontinue this wheel. They sell a similar style, but just those circular holes are a different design in the other ones. But these are 15 by 10, and the offset is minus 44 millimeters, and then the back spacing is 3.75. And then I'm running Goodyear Wrangler MTRs. They're 35, 12.5, 15, and they're wearing very nicely. Mostly street driven with this Jeep. So they got nice road mannerisms. They're not generally very loud. You know, other mud tires can be loud, but this really isn't that loud of a tire, which has been really nice. I will say they do get a little loud if you're cruising at freeway speeds, 70 miles an hour, something like that. They can get a little noisy, but regular driving around town, they're very nice. So, and I really like the tread pattern on them and the sidewall. It's very neat. So this is the Metal Cloak rear flare and fender system, I guess you could say. And they have an inner fender I guess what you call what the flare bolts up to. This bolts up to the side of the Jeep, this inside part, and then the flare just bolts up to it there, and then here. So I bought the mod cut because they sell two cuts. They sell a factory cut, which takes this inner piece and it stays with the body line. I bought the mod cut, which obviously, as you can see, I did bedline this to kind of make it so you can't really notice the change, but that allows me to, if I ever want to, do some serious off-roading or just, need more clearance, I can cut the tub of the Jeep away and have a little more clearance there, which is nice. So that's what that is. I bought the 4-inch flare with this. They sell, like I said before, they sell different size flares, so you can kind of get whatever flare you like the look of best. So that's the side there. I do have my Jeep isn't clean, which is kind of bad, but got my ammo sticker on there. I use all ammo products to keep all my vehicles nice and clean. So let's see. The soft top is the factory soft top. So my Jeep was a dual top from the factory, so it had a hard top and a soft top. I sold the hard top. I just didn't really, it was nice to have, but it was just too much of a pain to take on and off, where I really dig the soft top on how easy it is to take up and down and all that kind of stuff. So this is the original soft top from the factory. It's in really nice condition. It basically was in the wrapper when I had gotten it. He had never taken the hard top off or even used the soft top at all. So I did purchase some tinted windows from Best Top. These are the Best Top tinted windows. That's the rear window and the two side windows. So I really like it. Nice quality. It matches pretty well. You guys can kind of see there's a little bit of a difference between the factory top and this, but you really have to get up super close to it to really tell a difference. But it looks nice. I like the tinted look. I was thinking about maybe tinting my front windows. I'm not sure yet, but just kind of make it match a little bit better. But now for the rear, I recently just put this on. This is the LOD Expedition Series rear tire carrier and bumper. So obviously you guys can see it's got the jerry can mounts, and then this storage rack up top here, and then I was able to mount my 35-inch spare on there. It's a nice simple bumper, simple design. It was more, basically very close to what the factory bumper looked like, which I thought looked, really nice. It's got these D-ring hooks here. We got a tow hitch there. If you ever want to tow and set it up for towing, I probably never will, but it's nice to have that option if you need it. It's got the little arm here. You pull this, pull this over, and then the whole thing swings out, and then you can get at your back area here. So it's kind of nice to have. It swings nice and easy. The welds on this are beautiful. These welds are so nice. So really happy with the quality of this. What you do is latch it back on there, just like that. So that's the rear tire carrier option I went with. It's kind of a little more safari look, which I liked. So everything else pretty much stock. Like I said before, I did not lift it. This is on stock suspension, and I have a couple of video reviews on how much flex I can get out of this. And obviously this isn't a crazy off-roading vehicle for me anyway, so this works out just fine, where I could do some light trail riding and then mostly street driving. So, but yeah, as far as interior, it's relatively bone stock. I did upgrade the subwoofer to a kicker subwoofer that's in the center console. I upgraded that, which was really nice. I do use a RAM mount for my phone whenever I'm using GPS or music. And then because I kept the stock radio, I bought an FM tuner. So basically I just plug this into my phone, and then I can play my music through the radio, and it's actually really clear. They used to be really bad, staticky, you couldn't get them very loud. That one right there is really, really nice. So, and really cheap. I think it was like $8 or $12 or something like that. Back here, I'll show some other better clips of this, but I have the Smittybilt netting system, the Krez 2 netting system in the back there. I'll show some better clips of it with the top off. Gives it a nice look, and it keeps the dog, if you ever have a dog in the back, keeps the dog from jumping out and other things from flying out of your Jeep. So I did put a new gear in the transfer case, the new speedometer gear to match for my 35-inch tires. So I did replace that, and then I also straight piped the Jeep, which I will show you guys what that sounds like. So as you can see, the Jeep, I bought it with like 9,300 miles, and a little over a year now, I got 17,928 miles on it. But just did a little bit of a muffler delete here. So yeah, gives it a nice little sound, and I'll maybe play a couple clips of what it sounds like. All right, another mod that I did do is I did buy a set of half doors for the TJ, and they were in really rough condition. I bought them off of Craigslist, so I refinished them and bedlined them. So I'll show a little bit of what those look like. I run those usually in the summertime, or if it's not raining, things like that. But so now I'm going to talk about some of the mods I'd like to do to the Jeep. So it's at a really nice stage now, but there's always something, of course. So what I would like to do is Metal Cloak sells a rock guard, so I'd like to install the rock guard to kind of, because this is where the old factory little flare would go, then the big flare. So I don't really know what to do with there. So that Metal Cloak will cover all of that. So, and it also's got like a little tube that goes on there, so it'll kind of match the whole setup, maybe tie it in a little bit better. But so I'd like to do those, both sides obviously. And then someday, like I said, I'm going to be upgrading, my steering components, do some heavy duty ball joints, and then the tie rod and drag link and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of a pain to spend so much money on a winch, but that would really complete the build. The thing about it is I probably won't use it a whole lot, so it'll kind of be a more for show type thing. So someday I'd like to get one at least. I like the Warn winches. Those seem to look really nice, and they got like a red and black color scheme, so it would kind of match the color scheme of my Jeep. Another thing I'd like to do, which the only problem with it is I'd like to do a light bar and the roof rack from Gobi. It's their Ranger rack, so you got a nice roof rack on top for additional storage. Then they have an integrated light bar at the top where I can put the big circle KC lights on top. I'd like to do that. It's just I gotta measure to see if I'll even fit in my garage with that. So if I can't fit in the garage, obviously that'll have to wait until I get a bigger garage or bigger garage doors. So, but yeah, so I'd like to do that. It's got a really nice look to it. I think it would kind of that would be the ultimate setup. And then you get a little ladder that goes in the back so you can get at the stuff in the back. It looks cool. I think it'd look really nice with the LOD setup. It's kind of that similar style. So I think that would just go really nicely together. And then other than that, then it'll be pretty much 100% done. Like I said, maybe I'll beef some of the suspension components up. I plan on keeping it at with this setup, the no lift. If I ever go bigger tires, we'll probably lift it just a little bit, obviously, because the 35s are pretty much maximum you'd ever want to do with these Metal Cloaks. But yeah, so that's just kind of what I'm thinking. I do enjoy the the lights that go on here, they got that little bracket and they just sit right here. I like those. That would be kind of a cool setup if I do the whole lights up there, get the lights on the side there. I do have a high lift jack that I think I'm gonna set up on the back here, but the ones that sit on the hood are pretty neat looking too, but we'll see. But as far as exterior goes, I pretty much don't have to change anything else. Someday it would be pretty neat to put a turbo on the 4-liter. I think that would sound really, really cool. Give you a little bit more power, you know, maybe. And if I wanted more power, I could re-gear the Jeep to get me a little bit more out of the 4-liter. I'm on stock 373 gears with the Dana 44 rear end. So yeah, that's just kind of some thoughts on that. But that would be a very cool, just a little bit more power, and you know, just get that really neat tone with the 4-liter and the turbo. I think that setup would sound really, really good. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. Definitely consider subscribing. That helps me out a lot, guys. And that way you guys can kind of stay up to date with the build of this TJ and Cobra videos and everything like that. So, but yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.